I don't know. I don't know. But Vergil, he's right there. He's right there. He's been proven that he belongs with the top fighters in the division. And, who knows? A couple of fights or next fight or whatever the case may be.
After beating Erickson Lubin, Terence Crawford finally answered Vergil Ortiz's call. Ortiz was going too far. The undisputed super middleweight king said, if Ortiz is ready to move up to weight classes, he'll give him a chance.
It could be Crawford next if he's still willing to do it. Because, that's a fight that I've been calling for a while. I think that's a great fight to make happen still.
I'm at 168 now, and I don't go back to any divisions I leave behind. He should make the big jump here, and let's make it happen if he really wants it that badly. This time, Vergil Ortiz might be ready to make it happen. At the news conference after the fight, Ortiz told the crowd, I'm here to fight the best. She fired his shot, killing Lubin. It doesn't matter who it is. Next could be Boots. Spence could be the next one. Craig could be the next one if he still wants to do it.
You want to fight Terence Crawford right now?
I would love to fight him, man. I think he's like probably the #1 pound for pound fighter right now.
Do you think he's out of his peak?
No.
Or is he in his peak now?
I think he's in his peak.
And you're saying you could beat a peak prime Terence Crawford?
I'm saying I believe that I can.
I've been wanting that fight for a while now. Still, I think that's a great fight to have. I'm going to keep doing what I do best. That's just how I am. Terence Crawford, Yaron Ennis, and other big names are on Vergil Ortiz Jr.'s mind. After he knocked out Erickson Lubin in the second round, Ortiz kept his perfect record going and is now 24-0 with 22 knockouts. Fans have been wanting to see him fight Ennis for a while now because he wants a big fight next. In the ring, Boots and Ortiz fought each other after the Lubin fight. Ennis made his debut at 154 pounds by knocking out Weisma Lima in the first round.
Still 100%.
I believe that I can. No, I respect him as a fighter, though. That's the thing. When I want to fight people, it doesn't mean that, oh, I don't like you. Like, let's get it on. It's more like I respect your skills and I want to see if I can beat you.
Ortiz also dominated, though his performance may have been better against a better opponent. Because of this, Ortiz versus Ennis would be a huge fight right now. Both De La Hoya and Ortiz thought about what would come next after beating Lubin. After knocking out Erickson Lubin, Robert Garcia thinks Vergil Ortiz Jr. has more choices besides Yaron Boots Ennis.
In the division, both, it would do really good numbers on pay-per-view because they should put it on pay-per-view. I think it would do really good numbers on pay-per-view, and the gate would be...
Ortiz beat Lubin in just 2 rounds to move to 24 wins and 0 losses and make his second defense of the World Boxing Council temporary super lightweight title. After the win, he fought Ennis in the ring, which made it look like the next fight for both title holders. But Garcia, who is Ortiz's manager, thinks that his fighter has choices besides Ennis. Garcia told SB Nation after the fight, we're ready for anyone, but we have a lot of choices.
And you named your GOAT as Bud Crawford, and I think a lot of folks were surprised. This is obviously a contemporary, somebody called out in the past. Why did you rank him as your GOAT?
Well, I think this is gonna sound kind of, there was a little bit of a misunderstanding. I thought I could only choose one person for GOAT, so
Sebastian Fondora has to be here. That one too. We'd love to have. Errol Spence was also here. There was also Jermall Charlo here. Boots is also here. That means any of those big fights could happen. We're all set for any of them. The WBC interim 154 lb title is held by Ortiz, the regular winner, Sebastian Fondora. It makes sense to have a fight to unify the titles, but Fondora is still tied to former champion Keith Thurman. Garcia thinks that Ortiz's next fight will be the main event of a big pay-per-view show no matter who it is. The famous trainer thinks that his fighter is almost famous all over the world and is already a pay-per-view star.
As well, and then one of those fights, Crawford was there in the corner and you were calling him out. You were saying, hey, I will take a fight because they asked you, would you like to take a fight with Crawford? Yeah, I would like to take a Crawford with him. And, moving to today, obviously his performance against Canelo, do you feel like a fight with Crawford is closer more than ever now?
Well, first I'll answer the question.
I believe now is the ideal time for Vergil, a Mexican-American, to become a pay-per-view star, to fight that everyone wants to take on because it's the most important one for them. I think we can do something. It's beautiful if it's Boots, because that's a big fight. Spence is the same way, Chloe is too, and so is Fondora. Xander Zaz is too. All of these fights are big, which makes Mexican-American champions. Eddie Hearn and Ennis were in the ring to see Ortiz Jr. fight Lubin. De La Hoya said they shouldn't have been there because Boots might be scared to fight Ortiz Jr. now, he stated. I'm actually skeptical because I told Eddie and Boots, don't come watch Vergil live because you are going to be afraid of what you see.
Is this the fight that you want next? Vergil Ortiz against Jaron Boots Ennis.
I think this is the fight that has to happen, man. I think this is it.
Yep. It's the best fight in boxing. I think he did a great job. He looked good. But I'm going to show the world why I'm the best in the world. And I'm going to show his team. They've been talking all crazy.
Eddie Hearn and I are going to talk. To better man, Vergil gives us the upper hand. Let's see if we can make peace, which I'm sure we will. If Ennis sees how dangerous Ortiz is, De La Hoya says he might look for another tune-up fight. The Golden Boy also said that Ortiz hopes to get what he wants financially from a fight with Boots, who is seen as one of the best boxers in the world right now.
You know, if it's a good fight, if I feel like it's gonna be a great fight, which of course with Crawford, that's a no-brainer for sure. We got to get past this fight and we can talk about the future.
To temporary super welterweight champion, the World Boxing Council, Vergil Ortiz Jr. showed how powerful he is by stopping Erickson Lubin in just 1 minute and 30 seconds of the second round at the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. Ortiz kept his perfect record going with this win and sent a very clear message to the rest of the division. Ortiz put his flow and power on display from the first bell. Lubin made it through the first round of the fight, but in the second round, the Texan struck a precise combination that pinned Lubin against the ropes and made the referee stop the fight.
Fucking crazy, and I'm gonna back it up and I'm gonna show the world why I'm the best in the world. But like I said,
no one's been talking crazy, bro. Your dad is the first one that said that I was ducking. It's on video. It is on video that he said we ducked and we didn't get no offer.
It don't matter. The time is now. It's that time. Let's get this money and let's make this fight happen.
Ortiz's ability to end fights quickly and decisively was shown once again by this dominant effort. Because of how fast and accurate he is one of the most feared punchers in the super welterweight division, and the best boxers can't wait for him to take the next big step. In an interview, Crawford was asked what he planned to do next and if he and his team had made up their minds yet. He said that his next fight will be in 2026, which is interesting. And when that happens, Dmitry Bivol is expected to be his opponent because talks have been going on behind the scenes. Yes, I'm not going back to 154 or going to 175. We want to reach 160. And he said, Bivol is my goal right now. That's the only fight from memory.
If you were at 168, when we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. You know, when you look
right, not now. It's at 175, yeah.
He probably can't even make 168 though.
This goes against what other people have been criticizing him for. After Crawford won, Turki Alalshik, a sports official from Saudi Arabia, suggested a mega fight between Crawford and David Benavidez. He asked Benavidez if he could still make the 168 lb weight limit. Benavidez had been looking for a title fight against Canelo at super middleweight, but he didn't get one. He then went up to light heavyweight. Crawford is now the undisputed champion at 168 pounds, so a fight between the two would give Benavidez a long-awaited chance to challenge for a major title. Although Benavidez is bigger than Crawford, analysts say that Crawford is clearly the favorite after his recent showing against Alvarez.
He's earned it. He is the man right now. He's the top gun. He's, you know, I know you got him, Inoue, and Usyk. They all belong in those three. But Crawford probably just put himself on the top of the hill.
It does matter because you said that we're the ones talking. We're not the ones talking. Oh, we started talking after you guys started talking. It's retaliation. It's retaliation.
Your manager's talking all crazy. Oscar's talking crazy. It's the time, and I'll make you pay.
Even though Crawford made his choice, some people think he will probably quit. He just became the first man to be an undisputed king in 3 different weight classes, fought almost every other great boxer in those weight classes, and has never lost a fight. He could have made 9 figures by beating Canelo. He doesn't have anything to show or maybe anything left to fight for. Anyway, Crawford is now without a doubt one of the biggest stars in the sport. He would be throwing away a lot of money by quitting now. Canelo is willing to give Crawford another fight, which would be very valuable. Also, Crawford can fight anyone from 154 pounds to 174 pounds if he wants to.
But when you look at these fights, you know, especially coming up, you gotta be realistic. You gotta, say, all right, how big is this dude really is? Because David Benavidez, he can fight his ass off. Me personally, I believe.
In the world of boxing, Teddy Atlas is one of the most recognized people. His podcast, The Fight with Teddy Atlas, just had an episode where he talked about what Crawford might do next in his career. He can fight anyone he wants, Atlas said about Crawford's next fight. He deserves it. Right now, he is the man. He's the best. It's likely that Crawford put himself at the top of the pound-for-pound list. He can now pick. He wants to lose weight. He doesn't want to stay up there. He wants to lose 160 pounds. Atlas also said, I always worrying that when you put that much muscle on Bud, it will go back down because it's hard to lose muscle.
The mountain, and he's just to the victor goes the spoils, baby. He gets to choose. He's special. He showed that. Now he gets to choose. He wants to go down. He doesn't want to stay up there. He wants to go down to 160.
He's smart, though. His kids are very smart. He's smart in the end. He's not going too far. He's losing 8 pounds. He wouldn't hurt himself by doing that. That means it's all up to him. Based on what I can tell, Atlas would rather Crawford stay at 168 pounds and not move down to the lighter weight classes. Likely, Crawford would like it the same since he doesn't have to lose as much weight to become super middleweight.
Without him, really wanting to fight and putting forth the effort into doing what he can do along with me to get this fight done, we wouldn't be fighting. So it's only right that I give him that same,
I want and I need. So after I do my thing, Saturday night and be victorious, I feel like it's only big name fights from here on out. Only main event headlines and pay-per-view headline, pay-per-view fighting. So that's my goal.
Your skills against their skills.
Eddie Hearn, the head of Matchroom Boxing, said that talks were still going on for Crawford to fight former unified welterweight champion Yaron Ennis. Ennis is set to make his 154-pound start on October 11th against Weisma Lima. I think the best fight in American boxing is between Terence Crawford and Yaron Ennis. The news came from Hearn on Wednesday, but because Crawford knows how good Boots is, he needs to make money for him to be interested. Still, I don't think Crawford thinks he's going to lose to Boots. He just knows that it will be a tough fight. My new favorite person is Boots, to show how great he is. We only need to get fights.
Fight that makes a whole lot of sense, and a fight that stylistically will be, oh my goodness, is a fight between Terence Crawford and Jaron Boots Ennis.
I don't think I think that's going backwards for Terence.
To that point, Jaron doesn't have the kind of accolades. He doesn't sell to the mass and all these. So this fight was perfect timing for both these guys.
When Ennis was brought up as a possible future fight during Crawford's press conference after the fight, the 5-division champion at first said he wouldn't fight Ennis because he wasn't going back to the junior middleweight class. It would have to be agreed upon by both parties for the fight to go ahead. Hearn said that the trouble is that Crawford will only want to fight for big money, and that there are only a few fights that will pay that much. When you talk about Terence Crawford, you're talking about a different animal, a guy whose IQ is just a little off. To beat that guy, you need to have a lot of knowledge and a lot of schooling. That's why I said I like the Boots fight. Crawford had to fight Ennis at 147 pounds, but last year he went up to 154 pounds and beat Israel Madrimov for the World Boxing Association title. Ennis was then promoted from interim to full champion by the governing body. He went on to beat Ian Testanis by stoppage in April to become both the ring and WBA title. The same time that Ennis practiced for Lima, he also sparred with Alvarez while he was getting ready for Crawford. But even with high-level training, Alvarez couldn't level up. The Mexican star said, after losing, that his body had given up on him. It was an amazing show by Terence Crawford. Hearn added, I'm gutted for Canelo, but I'm actually pleased that Crawford is getting the opportunity to show how great he is because his resume hasn't really allowed that, but he could have beaten a lot more of the best guys of his time. Don't get me wrong, he has some good wins. You did a great job at age 38. A lot of the time, we let people leave. It's a great way to end, but I think Crawford can move down and win a world title at 160 pounds. That would make him a winner in 6 weight classes. Terence Crawford wouldn't help Canelo Alvarez win, which was very disappointing for him. There were more than 70,000 people at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, and more than 41 million watched on Netflix. Crawford beat Alvarez in a pretty close, a clear fight. Yaron Ennis was one of the many people who watched. To Philadelphia, who is 28 years old, has called Crawford out many times. This person has also said that he looks like the future Hall of Famer.
The Crawford-Canelo fight. Were you surprised by the outcome?
It's boxing, they have
no doubt. My other question for you is, with this win, everybody said Crawford elevated his status. He's the GOAT. Do you think this win puts him on Mount Rushmore or makes him a GOAT in boxing?
Everybody got their own opinion.
What's yours?
In an interview, Crawford talked about times when people didn't believe in his career plan. People were always telling me, he's broke. When I worked for Top Rank, he's this and that. I was making good money, but I said, I don't have to box. I can stop working. You all box since you want to. I love boxing.
Park, South Philly.
Yeah.
All right, so they'll kill me if I don't ask you, right?
What?
Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford wins unanimous decision victory.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on the fight?
I was trying to stay up. It was getting too late, y'all. It was like, I think by the time they came on, it was probably 1 o'clock or something like that.
It was like 1 and some change.
I trained.
He then had a vision of Time's verdict. People will still talk about the kid from Omaha, Nebraska, named Bud Crawford 100 years from now. He fought his way up 2 or 3 classes and beat Canelo Alvarez. There's no doubt that my name will be called and talked about after I'm gone. That is the point of leaving a memory.
I think Crawford's going to get the job done. I am officially picking Crawford to win this fight. It is still 50-50, but obviously...
he says that till he goes to Canelo.
I'm obviously going to say that this is a 60-40 fight, and I have Crawford winning this fight. Crawford's going to win this fight doing something that nobody's done to Canelo.
Okay.
This is going to help Canelo. He's sparring against a great fighter, world champion in Enos, and like I said before, iron sharpens iron. And maybe it will. But on the other side, it was interesting to hear your side of how, whether it's the overtraining or I think more the mental side. What if Boots is getting the best of him? How does that affect Canelo going into this fight? Why would you want to even put that doubt in your fighter's head going into such a big fight?
Crawford's words have meaning for me. We'll know in the next few decades if that promise comes true. On this day, Omaha already seemed sure. It wasn't like any other winning parade. There was a coming together of identification, memory, and expectation. His home state had turned into his sounding board, his city, and a co-author. It's no secret that Ennis has trouble staying under 147 pounds, which is why he moved up to junior middleweight. To be honest, I think the big question is whether Boot sticks at 147. Boxing Scene spoke with Earn.
Following a once-in-a-lifetime fight.
42-0, waving to the crowd, pumping his fists like he does so well.
And a kid on his lap. I love it. Guys, I'm having a hard time hearing you, but it's hard to hear anything because it is loud. The city of Omaha is out. Bud Crawford making his way to the heartland of America.
My opinion is I like who I like. I like Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker.
What do you think?
I'm liking Sugar Ray Leonard. I've been watching a little bit of Sugar Ray Leonard and James Toney. So they my top guys that I've been watching.
It was great to see Stannon play. While the medical stats weren't as good, it's hard to say because I think Boots thinks he'll do so much better out at 154. That's all there is to it now. You can stay in touch with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. It has all the latest news, moments, events, and acts in the world of boxing. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you know when we post good stuff like this.